Welcome back, everybody. We're at SPX 2017. I'm Rusty.
May I'm Mojo.
And we have
I am Santiago.
Santiago.
Yes.
Welcome.
How are you doing, Santiago? Are you killing it?
I am killing it. SPX is awesome, and
Yeah?
it's not being any different this year, so everything's
Just
cool.
steady awesome all the time.
We have visitors.
We
there.
cannot complain about awesomeness, right?
No, I mean, I do, but everybody judges me for it.
Yes. They're like, sir, no, please.
So how's SPX going for you this year?
It's been pretty good. I have something new this year that I didn't have last year that I'm actually going to share with you.
Oh,
That's
please
exciting.
do.
Tell us.
That it's tips for making comics.
Tips for
That's
making
awesome.
comics.
And so that's something that I also wanted to talk about because it came out because I was involved in a workshop with Latinx kids, like teenagers,
Nice.
with Jason Rodriguez and Evan Keeling.
Oh.
And we are doing a project, well, we did a project of helping kids tell their immigration stories as first generation immigrants from Latin America. And that's a book that is going to be published next year by Shout Mouse Press. So,
Very exciting.
yeah.
So what brought you to making your tips for making comics?
Okay, the tips for making comics was because these Latinx kids they were around 18 kids, and 17 of them would only draw with stick figures. They had never drawn most, in their lives.
Yeah.
Of course, there was this girl that was manga obsessed that would draw amazingly manga. You know?
That one, it was like all into it.
It was like the star pupil, you know?
Right.
So I created this so that the kids could get more tools in their belt so that they could be better at expressing their own stories.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what did you find while making this? Did it help you understand comics better? Like as you're trying to distill it for someone else?
I would not say that it helped me understand it better, but it did involve a process of distilling
Yeah.
into a very simple language, very complex concepts.
Making it bare bones.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're trying to communicate, and you don't want to overly complicate something.
And especially for new people that are new to
exactly.
the art form. Yeah.
Exactly, and even if you don't know how to draw, for example, something as simple as perspective, you don't have to know about perspective lines and stuff if you are beginning. Just know that if you overlap something, something is in front
Creates
of the
depth.
other.
Yeah.
So that gives you depth. Something as simple as that. So it's that kind of approach that I had with it.
Have you had a chance to share that with someone and see their reaction to it, if they learned from it?
Well, I had these kids to see.
For the class, yeah.
It was they were my guinea pigs, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds bad to say
That's
it like
good,
that.
that's okay. Our
But-
test subjects, but that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better term. Yeah,
That's
they were
fine.
my test subjects.
Yeah. And then did they took to it? They understood what you were trying to
Yes. Yeah, and they really appreciated it, and we could tell on how they could tell their stories, how they were in the beginning. We were with them throughout a month, and how a lot of them would change the way they would tell.
That's awesome.
There's
So you could see their growth of how
Yes.
they went along.
That's what. Do you think that? Would you have an interest in pursuing further educational how-to kind of material?
Yes, actually, this zine is like an expanded edition of what I did with them. Originally, it was just like 8 pages long, so, like bare bones. This one's 20 pages long, so
Oh, wow.
I've expanded on it, and I don't know. It's something that the more that I kept thinking about it, I was like, okay, I will do one more page and
Yeah.
one more page, and
So now that you've had that experience and you've even fleshed this out, do you see taking this and using it for more classroom style or
I would like to
workshops?
do that. Yes, I still need to figure out the way to do that, but that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed kind of helping these kids learn the graphic language, and it was something you got a lot out of?
It was an amazing experience helping teenagers being able to tell their own stories. And some of them were heartbreaking stories because a lot of them came to the United States illegally. So it was the hardship that they passed, not only getting into the US, but also all of their journey.
Oh, yeah.
To give you an example that it's hard, it's like this girl that had to stay, they have houses where a lot of the immigrants that are going to be doing the whole journey stay at. And there was 2 floors for men and 1 floor for women. And she was with her brother, and the brother was like, no, you're going to stay with me. It turned out that the guy who owned the house raped a woman in the 3rd floor. So it's hearing teenagers telling you these stories, or
to know that they're exposed to things like that. Yeah.
or that one of them was, once she got into the United States, she felt so out of place that she started cutting herself.
Oh wow.
It's like, I don't know, it's
Like,
very
it's-
personal stories, and it makes you feel privileged to be able to help them tell their side of the stories.
Yeah, and I mean,
Absolutely.
I guess it would also be really affecting because they're sharing that with you. Like, they don't have to open up
Yes,
that much. And
exactly.
They're choosing to do so.
And that's not an easy thing. So yeah.
It is not, yeah. And we even push them to be a little bit more personal, like as much as we could, without them
Sure.
feeling uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what is good about autobiographical comics. It's
Yeah.
how personal they become, because as if you make them more personal, they become more universal. It
Yep.
sounds contradictory,
It's
but
more specific, but at the same time, like you said, it is more universal.
It's like a
Yeah.
shared personal. Yeah.
yes, you might not have experienced exactly that, but you will be like, I experienced something similar to that.
yeah,
Right.
something will resonate with
Yes,
you. About
exactly,
their
yeah.
story. Yeah, and and also for anybody who has experienced these, something challenging or terrible, they can see somebody else's journey through this. They can kind of see somebody else come through it the other side. Share that story, and they're not, I guess, less alone.
They don't feel
feeling
like
that.
it's just them dealing with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. And since most of the comics that I do are also like for kids or teenagers, so it fit perfectly through with the kind of stuff that I do. So even though some of their stories were something that I would not do myself because of the themes that
Right.
I think that should be able to, I don't know, to encompass those audiences. Since this is autobiographical comics, there's no boundaries.
No, it just is what it is. It's real.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's as real as it can be. Yeah.
Right.
What else are you looking forward to working on in the future? Anything else you have plans for?
Well, I'm gonna be launching a Kickstarter in a couple of months, collecting the nursery rhyme comics that we talked the last time that I was
yes.
here. Yeah.
Right,
Nice.
right.
That's
So I'm gonna
exciting.
be like a collected book, hardcover.
Oh,
I
nice.
wanna go all
fancy.
in. Yes.
Yeah.
So how books are going to be like 2 feet wide by 3 feet tall? It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a stretch goal to make it that big.
Well, it's for kids. So I want to do it like almost like letter size.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be big. I want it to have more like a picture book appearance, like with a dust jacket and.
That's nice. Yeah.
I want to go like
Like the
make it
classy kid storybooks. Yeah.
fancy. Yes, with thick paper because kids like to.
Right.
So these are price considerations that a lot of people don't have to
Oh
consider.
yeah. Exactly.
But that's the audience that I'm trying to hit. So it's worth it.
Absolutely. So
Santiago, sorry, what are you gonna say, Rusty?
I was just gonna say. So for your work that you're working on right now, where can we find you online to check on things?
It's SantiagoCasares.com.
Okay.
Or you can see the nursery rhymes comics that I'm talking about at nurserycomic.com. Yeah.
All right,
Very
cool.
cool.
And before we let you go,
One more thing.
one more thing.
Come on, not the mystery question.
Okay. I mean, that's what it was gonna be.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
the mystery question.
bring it out.
All right,
Yes.
let's bring it on in.
Ooh, a fancy quarter right here.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got only the fanciest.
Unlimited
quarters.
budget.
The best quarters money can buy.
Right.
Okay.
I wish the machine could talk.
It's got feelings, but it just can't express them. It speaks through questions.
Oh, that's true. It does speak through questions.
Yeah.
All right. What was your question?
Okay. The mystery machine asked me this question.
I like
yeah,
that
yes.
idea. I like this idea a lot.
What's the best present you've given someone? That is a hard question. Especially because I do tend to be one of those people that obsess
Yeah.
about
Oh,
giving.
okay. So every present
Yeah,
is
I guess there's two
important
ways you
and
can measure it.
something you have to
Probably
put a lot
not
of thought
every
into.
present, but I do think that presents should be personal. That should be actually something that means something.
Absolutely.
So there's two ways you one that was something they really wanted, or one that once you gave it, you felt like, no, I did a really good job. I nailed this.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get real.
That's what we're here
Last year, my dad had a lung transplant.
Oh wow.
In the summer, end of the summer, and throughout his recovery, throughout the process, because my dad was in the hospital for probably like a month before they could do actually the transplant.
Mm-hmm.
He was connected to the oxygen of the hospital because an oxygen concentrator would not supply him enough oxygen. So he could not leave the hospital. And one of the things that I would tell him over and over again was that he should fight like Rocky Balboa, like
I like that.
that'd be like, they can take you down, but at the end you have to win, like.
Yeah. No matter what, you get back up.
Yeah. And related to that, he had his lung transplant in San Antonio. And so I was there through the lung transplant. I came back to DC. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because actually listening to one song of the Rocky album was the first time that I was able to cry after the whole experience that we had just happened. Because, I don't know, I was driving and I had just to stop the car.
Yeah.
Because I was just like...
Well, it's one of those things where you have to keep it in to help him.
You have to be strong
yes.
for him.
And so, going back to the question, my Christmas present for him was a Rocky Balboa t-shirt.
Oh, that's
man.
so sweet.
From Five Below. I'm not kidding. So, it's a cheap present as it can get,
Yeah.
but it has the most heart that you could find.
That's
so.
what
It
counts.
sounds
Yeah.
like a perfect gift.
Yes, that's awesome.
I think the Mystery Machine is happy with your answer.
Yeah,
I know.
Thank you very much for sitting with us.
Yeah, no
Yes,
problem.
this is great.
Anytime.
And have a good time with the show.
Awesome to see you guys again.
Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed.
Good to see you.
And good to see you too.
Boom.
All you fine folks at home.
Yeah.
Why? You should have held your